Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Courtside Soundoff podcast. Once again, I'm Josh Evanoff. Welcome to always by the one and only Angel Ortega. Lots to talk about this week. We got some UFC 270 recaps to go over. Bellator 273 going down this Friday, Saturday. Don't exactly remember, but it is going down this weekend. They have a heavyweight unifier of their own. And we're also going to go ahead and do some quick hits, touch on some MMA news-related subjects. As always, before we go ahead and start the show, shout out RogueEnergy.com. If you win 10% off your order, use the code SOUNDOFF at checkout. Let's code SOUNDOFF at checkout for 10% off of all your energy needs. Huge sponsor of the show. Have been a fan of them for a long time. RogueEnergy.com, as always. Last Saturday night from the Honda Center in Anaheim, California, UFC 270. Francis Ngannou, Cyril Gane, two title fights. The headliner, though, as I just mentioned, Ngannou Gane, two training partners going at it. In a fight that nobody expected to go the way that it did. Rounds 1 and 2, it looked like it was on his way to being Cyril Gane. Probably Jairzinho Rozenstruik, I think, is probably a good comparison. Except probably more high stakes, I guess. Gane is just piecing him up. There's no other way to put it. Not exactly in terms of, hard strikes, but he was landing the leg kicks. He was landing his jab at will. He was keeping him on the outside. Anytime Ngannou tried to rush in, he was maneuvering out of the way. He landed some good strikes in the clinch. And through 2 rounds, it looked like Cyril Gane is just going to walk out of there as heavyweight champion. Francis Ngannou, he's going to have to move on to whatever it is after the UFC. Boxing dreams are over. UFC title reign over. In that 3rd round, man, Francis Ngannou, something comes away. He comes alive. He gets a takedown after catching a kick. And then he stays on top for the rest of that round. Round 4, he comes out, all right, let's try and wrestle again. He does it again. He dominates that round 2. Round 5, Cyril Gane gets the takedown. And then Ngannou reverses. Cyril Gane goes for a leg lock, which will haunt him. I'm sure he still has not slept since that leg lock attempt. He had the opportunity to just, get back on top with it. He goes for the submission, ends up ending up on the ground, loses the fight mainly because of that decision. Angel, what is there to say about the current heavyweight champion, Francis Ngannou, and his massive win last Saturday?
I mean, I think at the end of the day, people are going to be a little disappointed, right? But look, when you look at these guys and what they're good at and what they do, this is what the fight was probably going to end up being in some capacity, right? You have the highly mobile, distance striker, right? Who has some capabilities on the ground and is still growing, very young as an MMA. And you have the heavy power hitter who, obviously he's going to avoid, right? So what is the guy going to do? He's going to be extremely mobile, be on the outside, take no risk. And obviously the big guy, the heavy guy with the heavy shots is going to try to land him and be very conservative of his energy. And he tried to do that. But obviously, Josh, we found out that Francis was dealing with a fucking injury, man, and still is. And came in injured into fight week and fought injured. Not bad, I had a cough there. But he had I know, right? I completely ruined the show. We have to start over. But he had the whole knee thing, right? So we even mentioned it instantly. We came out with the raps. We were like, "What's going on there? That's weird." Yeah. He wants to try him instantly. First thing we mentioned. We mentioned it as soon as he came out. I don't know. I was like, maybe there's something there. Didn't really think about it. We later found out afterwards in the interview what was going on there. And mistakes were made on the ground. And look, we even saw the stats, man, that that Cyril had spent no time on his back in the UFC and hadn't been controlled at all. And look, factors were there. I felt like, and I think we said it last time in the podcast, man, it's going to be a lot of hindsight. We're going to be like, well, in hindsight, now looking back at it. And yeah, it is, and it all makes sense. And we get this a lot, man, and we continue to get it. And, I think to an extent I'm surprised, but I'm not. I think what more or less surprised me was the willingness, the toughness of Ngannou, his change in game plan and kind of, how he did it. And to me, it was fun. To me, it was exciting. I was listening to weighing in, and I know Josh Thompson was shitting on it, but Big John was, he enjoyed it. He said he liked it. I thought it was good, man. I thought it was good. And, you need to realize how these guys fight. And this is probably the direction it was kind of going to go at the start. But there was definitely some changes that came later on that, at least for me, made the fight excited. And shit, Josh, you were there. We had friends there. We had people there who are pretty new MMA fans who even were getting excited about the fight. Mm. And, we're getting hyped up when Ngannou got those takedowns. And, and a lot of times, a lot of new MMA fans aren't a fan of, the fight going to the ground. So it was kind of cool seeing that, you know what I mean?
Entirely. And, by the way, all those new fans shitting on me entirely. Because I was the only person there who picked Gon to win. So it was, the last 3 rounds were hell for me. Fuck you, Josh! Why'd you
Josh, you were feeling what Cyril Gahn was feeling while he was on his back, man.
Oh my god, you guys don't even know. Yeah, dude, but dude, it was a good fight. I understand why some people may even not have been entertained, but for me, it was, like, this, obviously, if this was just a fight in the prelims, we would not care, we would not be calling it a great fight, but it's because of who these guys are. These are 2 former training partners who know each other inside and out. There was so much drama. And Ngannou is not only fighting, this is some WWE shit, dude. He's not only fighting Gon, he's fighting the organization. He wins, he leaves as champion. He's pulling a CM Punk Money in the Bank 2011, alright? He wins this fight, he leaves the UFC as champion. And in that 50-50 leg lock in the 5th round, it was about as intense as you'll see in a title fight. It was insane. And for him to come out on top, get the win, and yeah, in hindsight, it was one of those things like, oh yeah, should have seen this coming. Ngannou is so much bigger than Gon. In case you're curious, I believe he did gain, I said to you, what if he just cut weight just to fuck with Cyril?
He did gain up a bit, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he did gain 5 pounds at that weight, it's not huge, but Gon already weighed 10 pounds less than him, and apparently Gon also lost 4 pounds from the weigh-in, so it's possible that he wasn't even,
It could have, and it could have been water for both those guys. It could have been food, actually, because you can gain 2 pounds from water, real quick.
Exactly. And I believe the final numbers were Gon lost 3 pounds, and Ngannou gained 5 from the weigh-ins. But yeah, I mean, Ngannou was so much bigger, and Gon's never been taken down. We didn't know what he was doing he didn't really have much experience off of his back. And I even said, during the show last week, I was I would be surprised if Ngannou goes for a takedown, but if I expected if Ngannou was going to go for a takedown, he's going to just go all out for the finish. Drop some huge hammer fist. No, dude, this was all about control. This was Islam Makhachev type of grappling.
Dude, Francis Nurmagomedov, you saw it on the fucking Twitters, man.
Exactly, dude. And just full props to him. He gets to win. He retains the UFC title. And now, the real fun starts. Because, obviously, the kind of thing is that Ngannou, he wins this fight. He's going to have to stay out until December or January. I don't remember when exactly it is. And then he's going to be a free agent. He's talked about boxing Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury showed interest, but Tyson Fury says a lot of things. And he's also shown willingness to go to other MMA organizations, wherever it may take him, where he can actually get paid fairly. In case you guys are curious, this is not including pay-per-view points, but he made $600,000 for his fight against Cyril Gahn, which is mind-numbing. I believe the stat was Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury made 28 times more the entire UFC 270 card for their fight last year.
There was a lot of new fighters though on that card, on the pay-per-view though, if I remember right, or a lot of debuting fighters.
Oh yeah, of course. And it's obviously different. I don't like when people compare boxing, because boxing pay scale is a lot different. It's
especially
at
the peak.
At peak, it's hard to compare, and also people like to act like every single boxer's out there making Floyd money.
No.
That's not the case at all. People say oh yeah, if Ngannou goes to boxing, he's gonna fight Fury and make $100 million. I'm no, he's not. He's gonna make 10, maybe.
Still a nice payday. Plus the sponsorships.
It's very nice. I mean, dude, fucking, you know who Gene Tooney is? The old boxer from the 1920s?
Don't.
Okay, Gene, I may be pronouncing his name wrong. Gene Tunney. He was a heavyweight champion. He fought Jack Dempsey in 1927.
I do know Jack Dempsey.
Yeah, exactly. He fought him in 1927. Jack Dempsey made almost as much as Ngannou did, and Gene Tunney made $1 million for that fight, and that was in 1927.
Dude, they must have been balling, dude.
Yeah, but regardless, Ngannou's paid terribly. But now,
dude, the inflation on that must be fucking nutty.
Dude, for sure. But regardless, now we're in the present, and Ngannou made $600,000, not including any sort of Venom pay, any sort of NFT pay, or any sort of pay-per-view points, which put him over $1 million, I'm sure, but we're not sure by how much. But here's the biggest part. So now he's a free agent. Everything looked clear for him to leave The UFC hasn't even negotiated with him in 3 or 4 months, according to his manager. They haven't even tried to contact him. And Dana left the press conference like a baby, and didn't even put the belt around. Yeah, but he put the belt around Figueroa, so I'm sure he just magically got sick during the main event.
He got put into COVID protocols, Josh.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. Anyways, so yeah, Dana left like a baby, and he didn't put the belt around Ngannou. And I was wondering why. I was like, you know what? Dana has had beef with a lot of dudes. You know, Stipe, him and Stipe had beef. He showed up for every single fight. Dana's had beef with guys like Covington. He's always showed up for their fights, you know. So here's where the big thing comes in. On the way to the arena, Francis Ngannou got hit with a lawsuit by the UFC. They said they're going to sue him for allegedly contacting Nikita Badarian, who is the manager for Jake Paul and the runner of Most Valuable Promotions, saying that that's a breach of contract. However, I'm very excited to see this play out because I'm 99% sure, and a lot of people have said, that the Ali Act should apply to MMA fighters who want to box. And if UFC's trying to sue Ngannou for trying to box, we're going to find out real fucking quick if the UFC's no boxing clause holds up. So, Angel, what do you think about the whole lawsuit thing? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to tell you, what did I text you? I was like, the real fun starts now?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And it does. It's time. We're really going to see how all this plays out. Because I've always thought the UFC's like boxing thing will not hold up in court. Just because the All-A Act is supposed to apply to anybody who wants to compete in the sport of boxing, which is essentially just the All-A Act is just pertaining to fairness and management, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been reviewed by a couple of different law experts who say, yeah, that should apply to MMA fighters.
I'd love to see a lawyer talk about all this, man. Talk about the whole Ngannou situation, see if there's a possibility of him winning or.
I'm sure I could find something real quickly, but yeah, and I could send it to you. We're gonna see real quickly, dude, on whether or not it applies to MMA fighters, and that's something that I'm interested in. Obviously, it sucks for Ngannou because Ngannou's not in position to get sued. He's not made of money, dude. Like he's got a lot of stuff for his home country.
Yeah, he's not mom.
He's not what?
Mom, made of money. Mom.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get it. Yeah, he's not in just some amazing position in terms of cash. He's said that multiple times. But we're gonna see, dude, and I'm really excited to see how this plays out because this, as much as everybody talks about like, oh yeah, Ngannou leaving is huge. It's such a statement for all the UFC and it's such a huge moment. I mean, it's a huge moment for Ngannou, but for the rest of the UFC, not really, because what we're gonna go ahead and see is not a whole lot of champions are in the position of Ngannou. Ngannou won his UFC title fight, did not go ahead and renew his contract. He didn't take up the championship clause. He's like, all right, I'm gonna ride this shit out. This is back in 2018. So the likelihood, 2017 rather, I mean.
He's been playing this shit out for a while then.
Exactly. So he's not exactly in a position where he's in a position where nobody else is going to be in. Everybody else signs a contract, everybody else does this thing. Like this has been 5 years out where he's been wanting a new deal. Or not 5 years, but it's been a long time, you know. So everybody's talking about how this is like a huge moment. It is a huge moment for Ngannou, but not for the UFC. This boxing moment, where it's going to be challenged in court, whether or not it's illegal or whether or not it is fine for Ngannou to box or whether or not it's fine for UFC fighters, whether or not they're allowed to put that in a contract. This is the real big moment. What do you think about that?
I mean, hopefully he can make a difference, man. I love to see him make some sort of impact that could actually affect the company. You know, if he's really serious about this, he could do a lot. And honestly, he's a very well-spoken guy. He was at the press conference, and they were asking him a lot of questions that I thought were hard questions to answer. I don't know. Did you end up watching it by any chance?
I did not watch the press conference, but I watched him talking on Ariel Helwani's show.
Okay, well, when he was talking at the press conference, he was extremely well-spoken, dude, and he talked about a lot of things and asked him certain questions that he responded to, and I was like taken kind of back, man. I'm usually never really taken back by anybody, and I was just like, damn, some of these responses were really good, and I remember I forgot what it was, but I remember they asked him a question. He's like, I'm at peace with myself. I'm happy with my decisions. Like, they asked him that. I think about regarding potentially leaving or what he decides to do. And I was just like, fuck, man, that's such a good answer. I love that. So, I mean, if anybody can do it, I think he'd be a great person to do it. And if he's going to do it, he needs to be 100% committed to it. It's going to be quite a long process. And if he does end up getting in a situation where he's able to box, good luck, brother. And hopefully you can make a lot of money from it.
Of course. And obviously that's just such a huge moment in terms of him, you know, being able to walk. And he's talking about how he's content with his situation. You know, I know we talked about he's left like $10 million on the table by betting on himself. And for his sake, I hope it works out. But yeah, dude, I think we spent enough time on that. Huge moment, huge win for Francis Ngannou. Can't wait to see what happens in the future. I am curious though, how long do you think it takes the UFC to make another like strip-in? I give it within the next month.
Within the next month,
they're gonna strip him.
I'm assuming it's as soon as they can strike a deal with Jones.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's within that, and we're probably gonna see Jones Stipe, Josh.
For the interim or the actual title, what do you think?
Actual title.
Okay.
Which I fucking hate.
And you know what's interesting? I think that's going to be a very good fight. I'm not sure who to pick in that one. Like I said,
unless they're able to do something with Ngannou and make him happy.
It's not going to happen.
Unless.
I mean, if they're suing him, there's no way.
Oh yeah, no, that doesn't help. Unless there's something they figure out and they can manage to keep Ngannou, then I think that would be for an interim title.
True. All right, man. Moving on to the co-main event. This one very contentious. A lot of people saying robbery. I thought it was
Robbery's
fine.
kind of out there, man. Robbery's kind of out there. You know,
I
memed it that night. No, I didn't. I would like to, but okay. I did think it was kind of out there.
Okay, I did go ahead and rewatch it. Yeah, dude. That's what we're going to talk about. Davidson Figueiredo, Brandon Moreno, the trilogy. Davidson Figueiredo and New defeating Brandon Moreno on the scorecards 48, 47, 48, 47, 48, 47 across the board. And New, he's now the first ever two-time UFC flyweight champion. Well, it was a close fight, dude. There's no other way to put it. By far, I think, in my opinion, the best fight of the trilogy. I understand, first fight of the year contender. This one, a lot more technical, a lot more, we saw, this is obviously the first camp that he's had with Henry Cejudo. That's Figueiredo, I mean. First camp he's had with Cejudo. And you can see that he's going for the almost I said it on Fight Night, dude. The Yoel Romero style of bursting. Figueiredo normally, back in the day, always just swinging hammers and he's tired by the end of round 2. This time, he's patient. He's bursting and he's knocking you the fuck down. He's getting nearly the finish because he's not throwing all the time. He's playing the counter game. And he knocked down Brandon Moreno 3 times throughout the fight. And those 3 knockdowns ultimately gave him the win. Angel, how did you score it? What did you think?
I wish I can remember because I had it that night. I had it from Moreno 3-2 at the night of. I'm sure if I go back and rewatch it, maybe I could give it to Davison. It was a really close fight though, dude. I know you've gone back and rewatched it. I'm ready to hear your opinion on it. I don't have an issue with it. I just memed it that night because I thought it was funny to do so. And the whole night I was having fun. I was like, holy shit, he's seeing 3 Brandon Morenos right now. Holy shit, Brandon Moreno's seeing 3 Davidson Figueiredos right now. You know what I mean? I was having hella fun with it. So, I really enjoyed it. And hey, man, I have some thoughts about it post-fight now and things that kind of the future and what direction I think the division will go. But I'll kind of throw it back at you now because, that's how I thought it went. I do. Definitely that night after, as soon as I left, I was like, I need to rewatch that one though. And that's definitely when I need to go back and rewatch.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I did rewatch it and I had the same opinion, coming out of it. Round 1, I thought it was Figueiredo. Round 3, Figueiredo. Round 5, Figueiredo. In those rounds, he scored the knockdowns. And here's the thing. I hate to beat this dude because I can't stand it when people, bitch about commentary. I truly believe commentary played a big role in how people believe in this fight. Because I went back and re-listened, because I remember on the night, I'm not sure if you remember, I complained about it, about how, they kept on talking about, how Moreno rocked him, and Figueiredo was just standing there.
He's hurt!
He's hurt, and we were joking about it, and I was just I remember, I listened back to commentary, and they said this in, the 5th round, I believe. And this is after Figueiredo has always scored 2 knockdowns and nearly finished him in the final. If there's 10 more seconds of round 3, we're not even having a conversation. He's like, yeah, you know what? Moreno, he's getting hit, but his punches are having a more visible effect on Figueiredo. I'm like, what do you mean? How can you say that with a straight face whenever Figueiredo has scored multiple knockdowns and he sent him spiraling across the cage a couple of different times with huge punches? In round 1, whenever, Figueiredo, I don't remember if he knocked him down in round 1 or if he hurt him bad in round 1, but he knocked him down, I believe. And they were talking about how Moreno, after getting knocked down, he landed a punch on one leg, which kind of Figueiredo was surprised by. And they're like, yeah, he rocked him right there. And it's
He's
like,
hurt.
dude, so he knocked him down, but you don't talk about the knockdown. You talk about how like he hit him, like he barely touched him and pushed him, and like how that's the big moment of the round. Like
You gotta give Moreno credit though. Even though it didn't seem like he rocked him, I do think he had moments where he definitely did stun him a bit, and he hurt him. And that left hand was landing all night, man. I brought it up all that night. I'm like, dude, he's landing this left hand like it's nothing. Too bad it didn't have like the power wasn't there, man. Because I really do think if he had that just extra bit of power, man, realistically, I do think that would have been a really bad fight for Davison. But obviously, he can't control that. I mean, he can, but not to the full extent, you know.
Well, it just comes down to it's a classic case of pressure versus damage. You know what I mean? Like not really pressure, but more I guess consistency versus damage. Like strikes landed versus damage along those lines. Because I'm pretty sure I would say I have not actually looked up the numbers, but Brandon was landing more strikes. He was. Figueroa was knocking him down. He knocked him down with a couple of leg kicks. He took him off his feet. He knocked him down with punches before. Nearly finished him in the third round. It comes down to what you value personally, and I believe damage is at the top of the judging criteria, so I gave 3 rounds to Figueroa. Mm-hmm. That's all it is for me personally. I saw some people gave him 4 rounds, which I thought was crazy. Look, it's a close fight. We're going to see this one again.
I think looking back at it, though, too, I do think Brandon, to a certain extent, held back a little too much. Like, I get why, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like certain moments, he could have gone a little further, and certain moments he could have held back. Like, the round he took back, and then he lost it because of the knockdown. Remember? I don't remember when that was, round 4. I told you, but okay, he just brought this round back. That's fucking awesome. Right? Good for him, right? And then he lost it with the knockdown. I was like, holy shit, wow, that fucking blows for him. But you know, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I mean, and it was a close fight. I mean, if they do decide to run it back a 4th time, I mean, I think it's going to be even just as great as a fight. I mean, all 3 of them have been fucking great in their own way. I can only imagine how the 4th one would be if they do decide to do it. And I think if they don't do it now, they'll do it at some point. It's inevitable.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because Davison Figueroa, I can see that one going the other way, like any possible way. Because by the time they fight next, Figgy might be he's gonna be 34, 35.
Yeah, he's older.
Obviously, this is his first camp with Cejudo, and I thought he improved a lot because it doesn't really get the credit that it deserves because how close the fight was. He got run over by Brandon Moreno. Like, the second fight wasn't even close. It looked like Moreno completely figured him out. He's just a terrible matchup for him. And he comes back, and even if you don't think he won, he put in a very, very close fight. And now he's at a point where now he's going to have a second camp with Cejudo. And I think that's only going to benefit him, but also the age comes in because at this point, you're 34, 35. That's ancient in flyweight. That is so old. But regardless, I can't wait to see it happen.
Yep. I mean, Josh, do you think they do the 4th time? I mean, I know you did something you didn't really want to talk about, but we need to, man. I think we need to talk about it. Do they run it a 4th time back, or do you think it's going to be Askarov for the title, and they're going to do Moreno versus Pantoja, because obviously that's a hard fight for Moreno, and they were going to be scheduled to fight anyways at one point.
Mm. Yeah, I think they're probably going to do the 4th fight. I don't like it because I think this division is already so log jammed.
It is.
But look, dude, you can't, especially considering they both won it, and they said.
Josh said they can't prevent the Askarov title reign.
Look, dude.
Can't stop it.
I think he could be champion. I think he will be champion. And here's the thing, dude. The flyweight division has had trouble with people caring about it. They've always had that problem. They nearly cut the division a couple of different times. People care about these 2 guys. They care about this rivalry. They care about the fact that they fought 3 times and all 3 fights have been amazing. So they're not going to walk away from that, even if I think Askarov would deserve a title shot if he wins, even if I think Kara France deserves, getting close to a title shot, so on and so forth. Guys like Brandon Royval are waiting in the wings. The UFC's not going to make those guys. They don't have as much fan interest, and I don't blame him. He says, fuck, dude, 4th fight would be incredible. They never had a quadrilogy in UFC history.
They're going to be able to sell it well, man. They're going to be able to sell it well, especially on a stacked card. They can even throw that as a 3rd title fight on a card, man, and they'd fucking make bonker money. Of
course, dude. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's obviously a ways down the line, though. So we'll talk about that if it does get made and so on and so forth. This
so much money.
UC 270 card, it was alright. There were they had some good moments, some bad moments. Next up on the main card was Michel Pereira scoring a nice win over Andre Filo. Obviously, it looked a little bit shaky there, but he was getting the decision victory, 29-28 across all judges' scorecards. What do you think is next for him? Obviously, he should be ranked by now. If he's not already, who do you think is next?
A ranked opponent, man. I think it's time. Could he buckle down? Can he take it serious that every fight that we'll be having now will be against a ranked opponent and continue to grow, continue to mature? And like I said, Josh, he's kind of almost found that good balance of being able to be that kind of crazy out there guy, throw some, because you saw him when he had to be, he was a little bit more disciplined. I did think he did at the end get a little crazy with some of the flying knees. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
If I was his coach, would be like, hey, slow down. You don't have them rocked yet. You don't need to be doing that. I mean, they're not a bad thing to throw, but just shit like that. In my opinion, right? I just felt like they were unnecessary. But it seemed like, and the gas looked better. He did slow down, but it looked better. It looked better than the last fight. So progress has been made. So, I mean, I think that's a W coming out for him in that sense too. Are they going to make him fight Solikov? I think it's the guy who was originally fighting.
I hope not.
I hope not. Not really. I mean, that guy, he's like 38, bro. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm not trying to say that. I think they should give him a Jeff Neal type, a Li Jiang Lang type. I think those are all good matchups for him. I think those are fun matchups for him. And they're all tangible matchups. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, fair enough. It is going to be it's going to be an interesting thing seeing him move forward, especially considering that we've seen him evolve. Like, he came into the UFC kind of as a mean guy.
He'd be a Chris Barnett type.
Yeah, exactly, Chris Barnett type. I think that's the best way to put it. And I don't think anybody really, I don't want to say anybody cared about him, but in terms of like a competitive aspect, I don't think anybody expected him to do too much. And he's done a lot. Full credit to him, dude. Full credit to him. He has evolved and he's made it fun. He's improved so much since coming to the UFC. And, part of me wonders if this fight would have gone differently if Andre Vilo had a full training camp, but regardless.
Some people do believe that. Maybe. I'm not going to disagree with you, but who knows? We'll never know.
Regardless, though, nice win for him. He deserves a ranked opponent next. I don't care. Don't give him Muslim Solikov, dude. He worked so hard. You got to give this guy somebody. Somebody ranked. He's on one of the longest winning streaks at that weight class, one of the best weight classes in the UFC. Yep. So, moving on, dude, this was a really fucking impressive win.
It was effortless, dude. You remember I said that, I'm like, dude, that is effort. It was almost, I don't want to be just boring.
Yeah.
Because it was so effortless. I was just like, that's it? That was really how I felt afterwards, dude. I felt so unfulfilled. We even tried to sell Cody Stamann, man. We were like, something, Cody Stamann could come out here and do something, man.
Yeah.
Not the fucking case at all, dude. Not the fucking case at all.
Not even a little bit, dude. Said Nurmagomedov put a beating on him on the feet, and then he immediately got the choke. He was landing some spinning back kicks, and as soon as Stamann got close, he was like, oh, fuck, dude, this dude's working me. He gets in close, it's caught in a guillotine choke immediately. Effortless, dude. A lot of people think he's, Nurmagomedov, he's related to Khabib. He's not. That's a common misconception. But dude, he's got the skills like him. Let me tell you that much. That was effortless. Cody Stamann was ranked before this. He's only ever lost to the elite of the division. You look at his losses. Aljamain Sterling, Jimmy Rivera, Merab, and that's it. During the UFC, that's his entire, all of his losses, dude.
Must feel good to be Saeed, though, knowing that you're in that mix now.
Exactly. And, dude, he, by far the most dominant, he competed with Aljamain and getting submitted in the second round. Jimmy Rivera, decision. Merab, decision. This was a dominant, he submitted him in 47 seconds.
That's scary. That's fucking scary for that division, dude.
Very, very scary, dude. And he's only going to keep on getting better. He's still very, very young. He's only he's 29, dude. He's only going to keep on getting better. He's finally fighting top-level guys. Can't wait to see what he does moving forward. I'm very excited for Saeed. I've been a little bit iffy on him after he lost to Raoni Barcelos, but
dude, that's going to be another conversation here in a bit.
Yeah, we're about to talk about him in a minute, but dude, Michael Moraes scoring a knockout win over Trevin Giles. I don't think there's a lot to say here. I just feel bad for Trevin Giles. That's it.
That was big time, though. You got to give credit to, dude, that's a young 22-year-old kid coming from a country that doesn't have anybody outside of one guy in MMA that we know of, Chito Vera, who's reaching a good level right now. We don't know where his, what his peak is yet. And he comes out of that same Tijuana gym that Brandon came out of. He was the only guy that night who scored a W. Obviously, I know he's feeling good inside right now, knowing he came out of that on top out of everybody against a good guy in Trevin Giles. And especially getting a finish, man. I think he deserves a lot of credit and a lot of respect, dude. I mean, 22 years young, Josh. 13-0 in the UFC. Every fight except 2, I think, ended in a finish. That is fucking insane, man. And he has 2, he has 1 corner stoppage and 2 doctor stoppage. This guy's a fucking menace.
Yeah, he's an absolute menace. And for me, it's about how effortless the win was for Michael Morales. I was not surprised that he won, but Trevin Giles, he never really gets just dominated out of there. Like, and his losses are to really good dudes. And I understand it's welterweight, first time cutting down to 170, you can add a whole lot of quantifiers onto it, but that was just a dominant.
But he did a good job, Josh. I don't think that was the case. I think
of course. I'm just like playing devil's advocate, but regardless, that's about as dominant as a win you can have.
No, definitely. You're right.
So, yeah, man, very, very, very fun. Shout out to him. And also, just moving on down, we just brought it up. This is moving on to the prelims. Victor Henry, dude.
I think he surprised you, Josh.
Like I said, I like the kid a lot. I say kid, he's 34 years old. I thought he was younger. But I didn't really think he was at that level to where he took a fight on short notice against Ryan Barcelos. Barcelos, is he, ranked? No. Was he 16-2 with his only loss in the UFC coming to Timor Valley by a majority decision? Yeah. Very good dude. And Victor Henry put it on him, dude. I understand there were some close moments, but he took that shit 30-27 across those scorecards, won every single round.
Fight of the night.
And Victor Henry, for me, he's one of the stars of the card.
Yeah, it was fight of the night, like I just said, dude. Fight of the fucking night. I mean, and he's not going to be here for a long time, man, either, which kind of sucks, but just how the cards played out in his life, right? And he's here now, and I hope he gets moving quick, man. I hope we see him at least one more time this year. Look, man. He beat a guy who legitimately is very good. You just stated it there. I mean, a guy who was on the national wrestling team, a guy who's a jiu-jitsu black belt, a guy who has pretty good stand-up. I mean, that was a fucking legit ass win, Josh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, about as good of a win as it gets. Like I said, I think he's one of the stars of the card. One of the best fights of the night. So shout out Victor Henry, dude. 34 years old. Like I said, he may not be here for a long time, but he's going to be here for a good time. That was a hell of a fight. Looking on down the card, what are some of the fights you want to go and talk about? I
mean, you gotta highlight this kind of mismatch, Josh. Jack Della Maddalena. Damn, that was good. I'm actually proud of myself for that. That was great. Over Pete Rodriguez. Pete Rodriguez, man, absolutely just, this was not the fight for him, man, and he's not at this level right now. He can be. He's a heavy-handed guy. He has potential. I think he just wasn't ready for this kind of guy, this level of guy on this stage. On this night, man. I hope Pete Rodriguez maybe stays around. Maybe you can get him some good matches, get him a little bit more season. But he was fighting a guy who's a motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, this is I remember wasn't Pete Rodriguez only 3-0 going in? Something like that.
4-0 against a guy who was 10-1.
Yeah, that's rough. That's a rough matchup. And he got dominated. You can just
it wasn't even close. He got beat up. Close. He got beat up real bad. He got beat up by a guy who has a broken nose.
From the word go, you could tell they shouldn't even been in there together, which is really, really rare to see in the UFC. Because it's not even knockouts happen, 20-second knockouts, that shit happens. But you can't really say that guy got outclassed. Oh, he got caught a couple seconds in. Or a guy will lose 30-27, but you can tell he didn't really have a whole lot for the other guy. This was just from the word go. You can tell they shouldn't even been in the same venue together. It's so rare to see, and this is an ongoing beating. It was Pete Rodriguez tripped so much hard. Sometimes guys get dominated on the mat, and that's why he goes to a decision. Jack Della just beat the shit out of this kid for 5 minutes before he knocked him out. It was more 3 minutes, but regardless, yeah, dude, shout out him. That was a terrible matchup. I even remember thinking damn, that kid only has 4 fights. Jesus. Yeah, dude. Shout out Jack Della Maddalena. That was a hell of a win. And I think we gotta go ahead and mention this one, dude. Matt Favola and Harno Valdez. This seemed like it was Matt Favola's kind of moment where it's all right, you know what, you've lost 2 in a row. You got dominated by Arman Sarukian, got knocked out by Terrence McKinney, and this kid, 9-0. I believe all of his wins were via KO. I don't know if that's entirely correct.
But yeah.
Yeah. Or close. I believe they're all via either some way of finishing away, has a couple submissions in there. Yeah, dude, he just goes out there and puts it on this kid. This was a crazy, crazy fight. Favola came out, he rocked him, Valdez rocked him, and Favola ended up just coming back. He knocked him down 6 times before getting the finish. Good lord.
Wild.
Absolutely wild.
Fuck my brain, right?
Yeah, and then one of the stars of the card came in the prelims, Vanessa Diamopoulos, who she was taking on Silvana Gomez Juarez. She got knocked down brutally. Like, she looked like she was out. And she said on the ground, like she said in the post fight, that she woke up on the ground.
Yeah. I heard a lot about her, by the way, dude. I don't know if you have too.
Oh yeah, I'm about to bring it up. She scores the armbar win, and then she has one of the, probably the best post-fight interview with Joe Rogan. And she talks about afterwards how she quit being a stripper in order to focus full-time on MMA training. So, what a story.
That's fucking epic, isn't it? Like, the fact that she was stripping and fighting. Like, you gotta think about it, she probably had to take breaks between fight camps and actual fights to perform, dude, because she can't go in with a beat-up face, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not trying to be, like, disrespectful or anything, but you know I'm right here, right?
Yeah, no, you're entirely correct. It was,
by the way, this is like a family business situation. Do you know this part two?
Yeah.
Dad was a DJ. Mom was a...
That's the weird part, but I wasn't going to bring that up. Wasn't going to say anything about that.
Dude, no, I found this all out recently, man. I just think it's kind of cool to get out there. I mean, fuck, man, it's cool. And she has a book, too. She's an author.
Really?
It's about stripping. But, you know, it's still an author.
Oh, well, okay.
Dude, she's a squad W in chat. I don't care what you say. Her storyline just got cool, and her life just changed, so good for her.
Yeah, good for her. She got the 50 G's. She got the performance of the night. Good for her.
I mean, it's not the first time she's probably got a performance of the night, but...
Lastly...
hey, you set it up for me.
My girl, Kay Hansen, fighting up 125 pounds. Don't know why.
I didn't get to warn you, Josh. I wanted to, but she did fight up, but still.
Yeah, I don't even know why I didn't notice that. She's taking on Jadda Javicius, who I mentioned last week how she kind of had like a bit of a meh performance of a contender. I was surprised she got the shot, but dude, once I saw them in the cage, I was like, Jesus fuck, she's so much bigger. Kay Hansen, not a 125er. I saw that she only gained, you know, like California like does the weights. I think she only gained like 4 pounds from like what was it? Like the weigh-ins to fight night. Like she didn't cut any weight, which is. That was tough, man. You could tell there was a huge difference.
She did some Dan Henderson shit.
Yeah. You know, I'll give her props, dude. I thought, like, on the feet, she looked so much better than how she was in, like, her previous fights, but
yeah,
you can tell that her punches weren't doing anything.
She was tough in that last round, man. I'll give her credit.
Yeah, she's a dog in there. I still have hope for her, but I'm starting to think that she came to the UFC a bit too soon.
Which is fine. It happens. I mean, she's not.
It does happen. But let's see how she evolves. I think 115 is the weight class for her, but, you know, overall, dude, fun card. Fun night of fights. Obviously, on paper, not the most stacked card of the year. We knew that going in, but provided us some fun material. Fun night of fights overall. But Angel, you know, UFC had their heavyweight title unifier, which was awesome. Awesome fight. We can only hope that Bellator's Saturday night heavyweight unifier is as good.
I think it will be. I'll put it out there right now.
I think it will be too. This is probably by one of my most anticipated fights of the month, actually, just overall. We're waiting for this one for a while. Bellator 273 going down for the Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona. Ryan Bader defending his heavyweight crown, fighting back up at 265 for the first time since September of 2019. He's taking on Valentin Moldavsky. Valentin Moldavsky, for my money, one of the greatest heavyweights on the planet. He's 11-1. His only loss came to Amir Akbari in 2016. He showed so much evolution since then. Trained by Fedor Emelianenko himself. Still only 29 years old. He beat Tim Johnson to become the interim Bellator heavyweight champion. They're having a heavyweight title unifier. Dude, I am so excited for this fight. What do you think about this one?
Fucking banger. Another heavyweight fight on already this soon, man, with a title on the line. I mean, what else can you ask for, right? Shout out Bellator for giving this early in the year. I'm excited for them to finish their Grand Prix, right? That's the big thing for me. And obviously get their Grand Prix started as well for the bantamweights. So, I mean, there's some good shit coming on for Bellator this year, man. And I mean, this card is good to itself. And as far as the matchup itself, man, I'm a big fan of it. Ryan Bader back at heavyweight after, I think it's been, 2 years, Josh? Last time I get to check Congo.
Yeah, correct.
Did it in no contest, you know, shit happens. It's been a while now. He's been cutting weight. He fought Vadim, he fought Lyoto Machida, had a terrible loss against Corey Anderson, and now he's here fighting a fucking absolute beast in Moldavsky. Are we giving our picks for this?
We are giving our picks for this. We're giving Bellator picks, my man.
Look, I think for me, Bader at heavyweight, better than Bader at light heavyweight, let's just be honest. And it's usually because of the speed advantage, except that speed will not matter in this fight because he's fighting Valentin Moldavsky, who is a fucking hybrid heavyweight.
He is.
We talk about Sorgon being a hybrid heavyweight. This guy was a hybrid heavyweight before that guy was a hybrid heavyweight in MMA.
For sure. He's one of the quickest guys in the division.
Yes. And he can do it all, man. He can strike, he can wrestle, he has some mean kicks. I mean, don't be surprised if there's a fucking head kick knockout in this fight.
Yeah, man. And he's a guy that is, I mean, look, like I said, I think if you put him in the UFC, he's a top 5, top 10 guy. I fully believe that. He has that ability.
I think
dude,
you're right.
Ryan, it's easy to forget. Ryan Bader heavyweight, I've always thought after he won that Grand Prix, he should have stayed up at heavyweight. Because he has such a speed advantage over these guys that it's so rare, dude. It is extremely rare. His wrestling is dominant because I'm not sure if it's like he allows him to put himself more weight on, and his blast double is even better because guys can't prepare for it. But regardless, dude, he is so good at heavyweight. But he is also facing a guy now that is, fast in his own right, former Sambo champion, and has so much ability in his own right. Dude, I like Ryan Bader a lot. Obviously, we kind of know the stakes going into this one. Moldavsky has the chance to avenge his coach, Fedor Emelianenko, if he wins. But also, if Bader wins, it looks like he's going to fight Fedor for a second time. So the stakes are huge going into this one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to go and say it. I'm going to go and take Valentin Moldavsky to unify the titles, become the undisputed heavyweight champion on the planet, or at least for Bellator anyway.
Yeah.
Who do you got?
Oh man, I said it, man. I got Moldavsky. I told you.
Oh, I didn't hear the end part of the pick.
No, you're okay, man.
Yeah. Dude, this is an excellent fight. Excellent fight.
Not as excited for the next one though.
Really? You're more excited for the next one?
I'm not as excited.
Oh, okay. I misheard you.
This
Okay,
one.
yeah. This one, I hate the matchup too, straight up. I really hate this matchup. Benson Henderson, former UFC lightweight champion, now 38 years old. He's lost 3 fights in a row. He got knocked out by Michael Chandler, got outclassed by Jason Jackson. Did have a fun fight with Brent Primus, but he came out short in that one too. He's taking on a 20-1 Russian killer, Islam Mamedov. Yeah.
I mean, he should be 19-2, but that's besides the point.
That is true. I will agree with you on that one.
I mean, Josh, let's just get in it. Benson Henderson, we know he has trouble finishing fights. He's fighting a Russian guy who will grit and grind on you all day, dude, on the ground, make it real difficult. I mean, this is just a bad matchup for Benson, dude, like you said from the top. I think Islam is probably going to win this fight pretty handily. I mean, for Benson, I mean, dude, obviously, just avoid the ground. Don't let it touch the ground as much as you can. He's definitely gonna have some troubles here in this fight. I mean, we know it, man. I mean, all the issues are very obvious. Regardless of my opinion of whether I thought Islam won the fight or didn't win the fight last time, I mean, he's here now. He's got the matchup. I don't know if they're trying to push him for a title shot or if they're gonna try to push someone else for a title shot, but I'm sure with the record he has, it might not be too far out. But knowing Bellator, who fucking knows at this point, man? Anything could fucking happen, and I'm not sure what direction they're going to decide to go here. I don't know if he'll get the next title shot or not, but I don't know. I don't know why they did this to Benson. I don't know what the whole logic is here. They could have given him some of the other people.
Mm-hmm.
They could have given him Roger Hart, and this would have made more sense.
Yeah, I think Benson at this point in his career, like, he's a legend. I fully believe Benson Henderson. You can make a case for third, second best lightweight of all time. Like, I'm being dead serious. WEC champion, UFC champion. In his peak, he defeated Frankie Edgar twice. He beat, I believe both Pitbulls, or no, he beat Patricio, which is arguably even better. He beat Masvidal, Diaz, Clay Guida, Gilbert Melendez, Jim Miller, Cerrone 2 times, should have been 3 times, got robbed in the trilogy. Yeah, man. But this is just, he's past his prime now. It is very unfortunate, and I just hate his matchup. Islam Mamedov via whatever he wants.
Decision.
Yeah, probably decision.
It's going to be a decision win.
Yeah, it's rough, dude. As far as the rest of the card goes, man, what are some of the fights you want to go and highlight on this one?
Obviously, we got to shout out the boy Sabah Hamasi, man, giving us fucking bangers, dude, even if they're not very long. Darian Caldwell at bantamweight. And I'm going to shout out Sylvan Coley, man. He's fighting Ben Parrish, a.k.a. Big Tuna, to start off the card.
Nice.
Big Tuna had an upset last time. All the odds were against him. No one thought he was going to beat, let me see, who was it? My boy Christian Edwards. Obviously, he's part of I always mention him every time he's on a card, man. He's part of the whole, is it Jackson Wink, program they do where they give him like a scholarship essentially? Yeah, so he's part of that. He's a very talented individual. 23 years young man. Shit happens. Shout out to Big Tuna though for getting that big upset last time. He's fighting Sullivan Coley, who trains with Ryan Bader. Good wrestling base. I'm excited for that. Young talent. And Ben Lugo versus Lucas Brenna. Lucas Brenna, submission ace. I mean, probably going to end in a submission. I'm excited for that one too.
Yeah, man, this one has good matchups up and down, and this is probably one of the better Bellator cards as of late. A couple of Bellator cards is like 1-2 good fights, and there's not a whole lot exactly there. This one, good up and down, dude. Henry Corrales on the main card. Sabah Almasti, Julia Willis should be a banger. Darion Caldwell, Enrique Barzola, probably, I mean, arguably my most anticipated fight of the card, straight up. Darion Caldwell, former Bellator bantamweight champion, but he just can't seem to get it right. He's mixed up for featherweight. He's done a couple things. You know, he's coming off of 2 losses in a row, but I still believe that he can still be a great guy, great contender in that division as a former champion, you know. He's thinking on Enrique Barzola. Enrique Barzola had a good UFC run, not a great one. Got close to the ring. He never really break in. He left after a draw to Ronnie Yaya. This is his debut. This is going to be a hell of a fight. I'm not sure we're picking it, but dude, I'm a big fan of Darion Caldwell. Still am. His wrestling is incredible. I just wish he had a little bit better finishing ability. I think that's where he's lacking a lot, but we'll go ahead and see. Saeed Awa back as well. Dude, this guy has been around in Bellator seemingly forever. He's been around since Bellator 10, my dude. So yeah, I love seeing him back at the cage. He got a knockout win against Nate Andrews last time he fought, and it looked like for a while there he was going downhill. He had a 5-fight winless streak, and he's finally getting back into the swing of things. Chris Gonzalez is going to be a tough matchup for him, though. It's going to be a tough one. He is 6-1, did lose via TKO to Gucci and Manguchi, though. So they're both coming off of, rough streaks as of late. But, dude, regardless, it's going to be a very, very fun card. And like you said, I got to give him a shout out to Big Tuna. Big Tuna. He's coming back. Love that, man. Huge upset win last time out. So we'll see what happens this time. In terms of MMA fights, there is some more this weekend. There is no UFC. There is obviously no UFC. We'll go and put that one out there right now. However, Eagle FC, Khabib Nurmagomedov's promotion, is making their U.S. debut. They've been going on, or a lot of people don't really know this, they've been having events in Russia for a while now. They actually used to be named some other promotion I can't remember, but they were acquired by Khabib. They actually used to be EFC, I believe it was called. But yeah, so he went ahead and acquired them, I want to say last year sometime, and then he officially changed the name to Eagle FC and so on and so forth. This is their U.S. debut. They're taking in Miami, Florida. And, dude, I like this main event a whole lot, dude. Khabib's loaded up on talent in terms of both in and out of the octagon. He's an all-star commentary team. Felicia Spencer, Henry Cejudo, Chael Sonnen now as well. They've acquired a lot of talent, Kevin Lee, Diego Sanchez, but this main event is, I love it, dude. I straight up do. Tyrone Spong, he's experimented a lot of things in kickboxing. Just if I used to kickboxing, funnily enough.
Was about to, but he failed the most important test.
He did. He failed a very important test. And now he's moving back into MMA. It's going to be his first MMA bout since, I don't have it in front of me, but I want to say close to a decade.
I can check for you. I'm on it.
Yeah, it's been a long time since he's actually fought inside the MMA cage.
It was, oh man, I just passed it. It was 2012.
Yeah.
Maybe 2013. There might have been West MS, but it was around there. 2013. Mm-hmm. 2013.
Yeah, so it's been a long time. And he's not jumping into the easy side of things. He's taking on Sergey Karatanov. One of the greatest fighters to never fight in the UFC. Even today, I still think he's not in his prime by any means, but he still comes to bang, dude. Still a very, very good fighter. He's actually been experimenting on the boxing side of things as of late. I believe he's 2-0 there, 2 or 3-0. Had a good run in Bellator, and now he's fighting in Eagle FC. Very, very fun matchup. I don't think we're going to get predictions for this one unless you want to, but it's going to be a hell of a fight, dude. And then also, the co-main event. I mean, this entire card has a couple of, good dudes on it. Former UFC vets. This co-main event, though, very interesting. Rashad Evans is coming out of retirement. I hated the idea at first. Still not exactly a fan of it. But he's thinking on Gabriel Checo. He's not a striker by any means. He's actually a grappler.
A good one.
With a 12-5 record. Not a whole lot to talk about this one in terms of we're not going to give predictions. What do you think of Rashad Evans coming out of retirement, though?
It's out there, man. But I think he'll put up a good performance, man. Especially with the opponent he has. And I mean, he's fighting a hell of a grappler, man. I mean, he's gone against guys like Gordon Ryan. Didn't beat Gordon Ryan, but he's beat guys like Austin Vanderford at submission events. He's lost to our boy Gordon Wright at the Beverly Hills Ninja. He fought Ian Heinisch, lost to him. So, I mean, to give you an idea of his level, and he has a loss to our boy Jay Collier. This is back in the day in 2014. So, Jay Collier was a little lighter back then. So, times have changed. But, Gabriel Checo is 35 years old. I mean, he's nowhere near his young prime, you could say that. Or in his prime. But, he is getting a older seasoned Rashad Evans, who's 42 years old, who's been on a spiritual journey since he's been out of the fight game. And it's crazy, Josh, because it really hasn't been as long as you would think. It's only been since 2018.
Feels like a lot longer, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because he should have been retired before that, but yeah, regardless.
Yeah, probably. That fall was fucking graceful, man. It's very sad.
Yeah. He's a controversial signing in general. A lot of Eagle FC signings have been controversial. They obviously picked up Rashad, who, whenever he left, he was in a terrible position. Terrible losing streak. Older guy. They signed Bigfoot Silva, which was blasted. He's supposed to be in the main event against Tyrone Spong, which I actually didn't think was too bad of a match, considering Tyrone Spong has never really, 2 MMA fights, and he hasn't competed in 3 years in general. I think it was too terrible, but people hated it. They also signed Diego Sanchez, which people hated. They've also made some other signings like Ray Borg, Cody Gibson, guys that are actually pretty decent. What do you think about Eagle FC signings in general and kind of the direction that the organization's been taking as of late?
I mean, they're going to be a lower end organization, man. I think that's just going to be a fact of life. It's hard to compete with these bigger organizations. There's so much talent that's already signed. But I think they'll do a great job of filling out with young talent and local talent when they're in Europe, aka more specifically Russia, right? So all that region there, Kazakhstan, Germany, Sweden, all those countries over there, right? And obviously all the Dagestani fighters, obviously they try to represent that region very specifically.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they will be able to fill out talent from other places. And like you said, they signed other people like Jorgen Castro, Ray Borg, and hopefully those guys stick around and they fight in Russia as well and they get paid well. And they picked up other guys. They picked, they got Miles Hunsinger on this card. He was supposed to fight on the Ultimate Fighter. He was the guy who I don't know if you remember him, but he got injured and he decided not to fight. He's gonna be fighting on this card.
Oh shit! I know I heard the name before, but yeah.
So. They got a wide variety of signings, man. From everything to really young talent to very old talent that hasn't fought in 10 years or longer. Anthony Njokuani, Jucani, I just completely mispronounced that. He was 16-12. Hasn't won an MMA since 2013.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, but he's been doing Muay Thai stuff, right?
Yeah, he's been doing Muay Thai shit.
He's won there, right?
And he did do game break fighting. He actually won a game break fighting. I just saw that.
Oh, okay.
But it's
Not
been
racist.
a while. But it's been a while.
Yeah, for sure.
He did fight in the Game Break League last year in December. Actually, I had no idea about this. And bare knuckle MMA. So good for him.
I'm looking at it right now. He scored a win there, so that's solid. He's at least won some stuff. Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be interesting just because, there's a mix of signings there, some old dudes, some young prospects, some guys in the middle. I don't think I've seen some people just completely hate on Eagle FC signings. I don't think it's entirely fair.
Dude.
I mean, there's not a whole lot of talent out there to actually acquire to start a league nowadays.
Let me tell you something though. If you just look at this poster, like I don't tell you what year it is, what people's ages
You're like,
are.
oh shit.
Spog, Karatinov, and Rashad Evans versus Checo, dude. That's some pride shit, dude. He's not gonna lie to you.
Straight up, and I'm excited for it. I'm very, very excited for it. It's gonna be going down this Friday. And it's going to be on what the hell can you watch it on? It's going to be called on like FLX, I think, is like the name of the service. Flexcast?
I have no idea. That's actually a great question, dude. What is this going to be? I'm assuming it's going to be streamed, not like televised, right?
Yeah, it's going to be streamed. I thought they were going to be on Fight Pass for some reason, but I think I'm just a complete idiot. Okay, yeah, you have to watch on FLX Cast, which is some new streaming service, which I believe is free. So
yeah, I see this. Yeah, dude, I just had to I had to use Google Translate to understand everything on here.
Jesus. Yep,
yeah,
so that's going to be interesting.
Are you going to watch, by the way? I think that's a good question. Are you going to watch?
I'm planning on it, yeah.
I'll watch as well. Are you going to watch Bellator as well?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, I just wanted to know where we were both at as far as that.
It's just, yeah, that's where I'm at personally, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Real quickly, just a couple of news things to hit. Obviously, we did go and talk about the Eagle FC card, but there was some other stuff going on in the MMA world. Huge fight for the welterweight division just got announced. Bilal Muhammad, Vicente Luque, they're going to be main eventing a April 16th fight night card. 5 rounds between these two. Weird place for the welterweight division, but potentially the winner of this could be receiving a title shot. What do you think about this matchup?
Good matchmaking, right? I feel like they're in a position where they can fight. But it does seem like the guy who wins that fight deserves a title shot. And obviously for Luque, him fighting Burns is like not really an option to an extent, right? I mean, he could do it, but you know, they're homies, they're friends, and you know, he's already had to go through that one time. I don't think they want to go through that again. So obviously that made things difficult. So it makes sense, right? I think it all makes sense, and these guys have fought before, and obviously for Bilal, if he's able to get through this fight and win it this time. By the way, that was on Alvarez McGregor. I had no idea. Holy shit.
Yep. UFC 205.
You know, I always bring this up. I saw Bilal Muhammad's debut fight, man. Alan Joban, UFC Fight Night 90, back in 2016, man. For some reason that sticks in my head. I remember it because I saw the weigh-ins, I saw everything, and he ended up losing to Alan Joban in a decision.
And Al Joban at that time, there's no shame in losing him. I mean, even throughout his entire career, Al Joban, perennially underrated guy, but at that point he's like top 15.
No, he was at a good level, yes.
Yeah, especially then. So yeah, dude. Bilal Muhammad, a guy that I've really kind of switched on over the last few months, mainly because of the Wonder Boy win. Nobody beats a Wonder Boy.
There's guys out there like Bilal Muhammad, guys.
That was hilarious at the time, but it's actually aged very, very well. This is going to be a very tough fight for both of these guys. I'm very much looking forward to it. But I think kind of the last piece of news we got to hit. PFL has officially re-signed ESPN. I'm not sure if I believe it's a 2-year deal. Could be wrong though. And, you know, in addition to that, another big piece of news, another signing. They signed ESPN. They also are, it's not official yet, but they're looking like they're going to re-sign Kayla Harrison to the promotion. No details on how long it will be, how many years, so on and so forth. But what do you think about them continuing to be on ESPN? Huge deal for them, but also them keeping the biggest free agent in MMA, Kayla Harrison.
I mean, obviously it's not like a done deal yet, but it pretty much seems like that because we had heard rumblings that PFL was a front runner. And with the fact that they got this deal done, I feel like this pretty much cements Kayla Harrison staying. If she doesn't, I will be very surprised, but I don't think that's going to happen now. But, I mean, hey man, I really enjoyed PFL last year. I had a lot of time. I actually personally had a lot of fun watching the finals. I had a lot of fun watching each week. I kept up with it pretty well. So I know I added some viewership. So there you go, guys. You got a new fan. And, I don't know how much you kept up with it. I don't think it was as much as me, but, you know, I was out here fucking, campaigning, you know, robberies that occurred, by a certain Brazilian on their roster. I'm not going to say any names, but, You know, there were some issues last season, but you know something, we'll get through that, man. This next season will be good, and I know they've signed a lot of good guys. And PFL has some good guys and some good gals, dude. Honestly, they really deserve a lot of love, and I'd honestly maybe say their cards are a little better than Bellator as a whole. Not gonna lie.
If you're talking like a championship card, I think so, and depending on certain cards. But I think on average, Bellator has better cards. But that's just my opinion.
I don't know, Josh. I've seen both events, and I could say that I personally enjoyed PFL a little bit more last year.
Fair enough.
As a whole as cards. Big fights, maybe a different story. Because they don't really have a lot of major names. I mean, my main guy, you know, Ray Cooper the third, man. I mean, he's my guy. You know what I mean? Like,
he's that dude.
He's that guy.
He's that guy, pal. Yeah, he's great. I would love to see him in the UFC someday, but I'm glad he's making money, dude. I don't care if, like, I don't want any of these guys in the UFC that are, like, actually winning these tournaments, because they won't get paid.
He made a milli, bro. What do you mean?
He made a milli. He's made 2 milli, right?
No, he's only won one tournament. He lost.
Oh, never mind. I thought he won another one, but never mind.
He lost the other one to homeboy.
Oh. Yeah, regardless, though, dude, he's great. I love the PFL right now. I love a lot of the moves that they're making. And obviously, Kayla Harrison only going to go ahead and add to that. She is one of the top women's fighters on the planet. Like I said, a lot of people tend to hate her because it's like she talks a lot of shit. She's very confident. For me, what I've always said is, as important it is to win the big fights, it's almost as important to dominate the fights that you're supposed to. We see a lot of the times all these guys come out that they're supposed to dominate fights, champions, or whatever it may be, just to dominate certain competition, and they never do. They kind of like underperform, and that's the thing. It's very hard to do in MMA. She's fought, 12, 13 times, and she's dominated every single one in just ruthless fashion. I think if she were in the UFC, she'd probably be champion. Just her skill set and everything, she's super impressive. Although, that being said, I'm glad she's making money in PFL. Legacy, don't put any food on your table, and she is gonna win another $1 million. I don't care who's in there, if it's Julia Budd, if it's Megan Anderson, doesn't matter.
Or if it's you, Josh.
If it's me, you know. Yeah, she's going to make another $1 million regardless. Happy for the PFL. Is there any other MMA news you want to go and talk about before we close out?
I think we covered it all, man. I mean, we did an excellent job this week. I mean, shout out to you, shout out to me, shout out to the fans, shout out to everybody, man. We had so much fun last week watching the fights together. And here in a few weeks, we're going to see each other again, Josh. There's another pay-per-view coming up. Israel Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker. And obviously next week, we're going to be back in UFC with Jack Hermanson versus Sean Strickland. So there you go.
Of course. A lot of stuff coming up. Very, very excited. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, if you guys want to go ahead and follow us on Twitter, I'm at Josh Evanoff. He's at Ortega, _01 at Courtside Sound for all things relating to the show. Feel free to go ahead and subscribe on YouTube, rate us on Apple, rate us on Spotify. Hope you guys enjoy the show. As always, peace and butt grease. Mouse click.